Look at the fucking front of the place already. And so you climb on there, and there is often a lot of reservations that are being done. But basically, when they don't wash these copper plates that are right now covered with... It's a bit sad, but in order to conserve them, they put a white product, because waxing by hand is a bit overcomplicated now. They put a white conservative product, but you can sometimes see it's more green once the product starts wearing off a bit. And all those plates are basically made of copper. And it's incredible when you walk on it, because you feel like in a video game basically scenery. You have all these gothic structures that were all chiseled by hand by people like centuries ago. And like when I said that you feel like the archways that are coming from the side of the cathedral, the counterweight, look, doesn't it remind you something? Yeah. Welcome to fucking Italia. That's Dark Souls.
Anorlando is so cool.
Anorlando with the counterweight and everything is fully inspired from the Cathedral of Milano. And like... it's fucking massive. It's massive. Like, look at the size of people. You can... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... It's like 10 on each side. It's like...
Oh gosh, I can really see the resemblance too.
And you can go on the roof, but you can go, basically there is also traverta little ways that go under the counterweight on the side. There is basically this cathedral during the medieval time and the Renaissance, more the Renaissance because it was made during the Renaissance. There was the people going inside, etc., etc., and at the same time that the prayer were made, etc., you could have a lot of monks basically walking on the top of the cathedral, going by places that people could not access, and they would not bother at all the prayers or anything because they would use those archways, etc., etc., etc. It was quite dangerous when it was raining, so they avoided it at this plan, but still. And the inside is like, please, like, please, like, just the size of this thing, like, you can understand how rich the church was back in the day in Italia, like, that's some, I mean. It's very, very beautiful and impressive. I'm very happy I was able to walk on it. Gosh, it's very big. Italia is worth visiting for its monuments. It's incredible. They are very well conserved. People are Italian, so it's funny. You can pick up fight with them, it's funny. And it's a nice place. The only place I don't recommend in Italia is Napoli. I don't know how you call it in English. Naples. We call it Naples. But basically, this place, sadly, there is a few interesting things and the scenery is beautiful, etc., etc., but it's very industrial, very industrial. It's the economic center of Italia since a while. It's like Paris, except there is not that much beautiful monuments, very polluted, not a good place. You better go to Roma instead, even if Roma is also full of people. Roma got so many. I was there. This fountain, just it's very famous fountain. But look at this fucking fountain that is still working, like the Trevi fountain. Yes. Like just look. Of course, some of them like edit the color of the water. It's more like this. But like, it's just the amount of sculpture and the architecture of the Italia places, it's like, boom. Like, what the heck? And it's so well conserved, like, they replace parts, they take care of it. It's a whole plaza around it. It's very refreshing to be next to it because the water basically creates a little air current that basically allow you to breathe in, breathe out. It's very beautiful. That's happened when they basically push the rust out of the. When they push the rust out of the conduits, there is a lot of red stuff. There is events that are going to be there. There is photo shoot. It's very, very famous. But it's impressive. Of course, one that I recommend to go to, the most beautiful conserved site, if you like the Roman history, is Pompeii. Pompeii is a terrible disaster, but an incredible luck. Some parts are, of course, more or less conserved, but there is like this. You might recognize this. What are we talking when we look at this? I don't know if they will have the... But basically, yeah, they won't have it. Season 1 of Sword Art Online, second episode, they are talking inside an amphitheater, and the inspiration of the amphitheater is this one with the Greek one. And you can see the Vesuvio in the background, the Vesuve, what basically destroyed the whole city. And most of the houses are like this, but a few of them manage to resist even the weight of time, and you can visit real Doma of the Rome basically era and just see. I would die for. I won't lie, the Roman architecture, it's marked me because I went there. Well, yeah, basically what happened in Pompeii is that the Vesuvio, this part, did an eruption, but not an eruption that is progressive. It made an explosive eruption. So when it exploded, this side of the crater detached itself and became what we call a nuée ardente in French. I don't know the word in English. It's like, what do you call an avalanche in English?
An avalanche?
Yeah. It's like an avalanche, except it's made of cinder and lava and rocks that are more than 400 degrees Celsius. So let me convert that to Kelvin. Oh. You guys use Kelvin, right? Some of you.
No, we use Fahrenheit.
Fahrenheit, okay. Fahrenheit.
I was wondering why you were doing Kelvin.
So no. It's the other way around. Maybe it's the other way around.
No. Just go to Google and just search up Celsius to Fahrenheit translator or something like that. Your calculator.
Okay. It's 752 Fahrenheit degree. Yeah, you use Celsius, but Kai is American, so I need to still convert it to Fahrenheit.
Oh no, I understand Celsius too.
Okay. Well, basically 400 degrees Celsius, that just basically if people got caught into that, the death was instant. It was just like an anime, you see, the stuff went in and you turn into a skeleton. Most of the time you were dying before that because you choke on the cinders that were falling from the sky, etc, etc. But if you survive that, if you were inside the house, instant death. And so what they did for a long time, they didn't do that for everything, is that when they found a corpse, they basically took they decided to make a unique technique that is good for some part and not so good for the other, but it's always a choice. They put concrete inside the hole that were formed around the body, because the body had flesh. Of course, I'm a bit exaggerating when I said that you don't instant skeleton. You basically boil a lava at such a speed that you're cooked, you fall on the ground, and your flesh disintegrated over the next century inside the cinder. So they basically put concrete and it fills the hole around the skeleton, making the shape of the people. So all you see here are basically bodies. Concrete with a skeleton inside that are still perfectly in the shape of how they were when they died. You can see kids, you can see people, you can... That is very... Oh, yeah. This photo is super funny. You can see the road, and look at the road. You can see the track of the wheel of the Roman carriage that are going there. And you can see that they actually invented way for people to cross the street at regular interval in order to avoid getting inside the mud and the stuff that could be on the road. And there is a lot of very famous people. So these two people, they made quite some noise because they were discovered, and you will trip and fall because of that. Nah, you would be agile like a Roman person. They were embracing each other when they died, and the archaeologue found it, and they were like, "Oh, it's a man and a woman, and they are embracing each other in love." And then years later, and I say years later, they took sample from every little concrete coffin, basically, and did DNA test, and they went like, actually they're gay, they're men. And some archaeologues tried to be like, no, but they're just friends, you know. They are, everything is dying. They're just friends. They're just hugging friendly. You look at that, you're like, no, that's not a friend hug. It shows they were roommates. That's exactly what happened. While we know that in Roman Empire being fucking gay is totally accepted if you're a man, and it's completely looked over if you're a woman. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. There were doing things that were far more fucked up than that. They really didn't give a fuck. In fact, it was looked good in the military to be gay because, you know, when you go in campaign, you're with men, so you gotta release the pressure a bit. Better than raping people, you know. And there is other very famous. There was pregnant people who were able to study the fetus on the people, the woman inside, etc. That's a very, very impressive sight. Very beautiful. You can go on the Vesuve, of course. It smells like rotten egg, and you can still see where the part of the volcano basically crushed. Oh. And this all is because all the top of the mountain, because imagine a mountain, like if I could draw, I would draw it for you. Imagine a mountain like this, and all that part plus that part is projected in the sky up to 10 kilometers in the sky. All the rock, all the dirt, all the lava, everything. While Fatih being on the edge. While you fall down inside it and it's okay, you're just going to breathe a bit of sulfur. It's a very watch volcano because cities. All that is actually full of people. So the second this volcano, it's the most watched volcano in the world. The second this volcano more than the Yellowstone, because Italia is a bit more. They are corrupted, but they still look more for their people than America. The second this volcano starts waking up, which could happen at any moment, the integrity of this population is going to need to run away, and they do training stuff, etc, etc, etc. It's still a very good hike, but it's very desolated at the top. You can see that the traces of the eruption are still there. But yeah, it's what a story, huh? What a big story. All those people that died. It was a cataclysm for the Roman Empire. It was seen as there was a very important person that basically, when things started to went wrong, they write a letter to a nearby city asking for help, and they went towards the sea. The ones that didn't flee before that, because a lot of people fled before, because strangely the smart people, when the air started shaking and a lot of smoke basically started going out of the volcano, they said, okay, I'm fucking out of there. But some stayed. The ones that couldn't flee, the ones that didn't have a choice, like the slave, and the people that had very big interest. And so the fleet came a wall, because the other city just didn't went like, okay, we're going to help. They actually want the whole empire, and so the empire was like, okay, let's send the military fleet, everything. But by the time they went, the basically new ardents has got done, and they basically just saw nothing but an heavy cloud of cinder that created a thunderstorm, a cinder thunderstorm, because the new ardent is very heavily charged in electricity. So you imagine like this massive cloud that envelopes the city, dark gray, full of very ominous things, and you see blue lightning that are crossing inside it. And you're like,
that sounds terrifying.
Okay, I'm not sending the ship. And even if they wanted to send the ship, the wind was blowing super away basically, and they knew that it was over. So one of the very important people wrote down basically everything that happened in a very big book that is well known, and that's how we have also a lot of information. It was a human disaster.
Mm-hmm.
But there is other places that are to visit. There is, of course, so like I said, there is Valencia, very beautiful, very well known for their work towards the glass. There is, of course, Venezia. Always look beautiful. It is really beautiful. It smells like shit. Be warned, it smells very bad, but it's very good. However, I recommend going inside there with someone that is a local, because the most beautiful things in Venezia are outside of the most touristic areas. And also, if you go to Venezia, don't think that Venezia is only the main city. Venezia is actually an archipelago. There is a lot of other little islands all over the place that you can visit that are very good. Yeah, it smells like the sea basically. It smells very strongly the sea. If you know the smell of the sea, it can smell good, but it can smell very bad. And my favorite places close to France is this one. This is the Cinque Terre. So imagine on the west coast of the Italia, near the north, you have basically a mountain range that make a very small enclosure. Maybe I can show it to you. It's make a very small enclosure. You can see the mountain around. a very, very small enclosure around this place, where there is 5 cities, and this very close enclosure created something that is unique in the world, which is there is only one season, spring. 365 days a year, there is only spring, nothing else. So it's very hard to get there. There is not much car, mostly boats. There is a train. You won't have an internet connection, but it's always warm. It's always spring. The trees are always either giving fruits or being basically in flowers. No matter when you came, it's always like that. You can't find a picture of the Chiquitere during winter. There is no winter there. And the place is just beautiful. Yeah. There's an incredible number of couples that get married near there and come there to get their photo done there, because I mean the cliffs, the place, the colorful houses, it feels like Eden on Earth, you know. There are places on Earth where the climate is very awful, and there are places on Earth where it's basically almost paradise. You cannot suffer from hunger. You cannot suffer from cold. You imagine you can make agriculture all day long, and every time of the year you don't have one harvest. You have multiple harvests by year. As long as you don't exhaust the land, you can keep doing everything and eating. That's a wonderful place. It's very my favorite place. I wish I can go back. Yes, right next to Mediterranean in addition, which is a very good sea to, or was a very good sea to swim in, because there is not too much waves. There is still the danger of the currents, of course, like any ocean, or in this case it's a sea, but at least they don't have any enormous waves. And I know I want to travel. Yeah, Italia is one place you should travel to.